All right, welcome back. We're still discussing COVID-19 and its effects in Nigeria in particular. Like I said at the beginning of the show, Mr. President did put a mandatory lockdown in Lagos, Abuja, and Ogun State, and that should be ending tomorrow. We don't know if we're going to be getting another broadcast to either extend or lift the lockdown or probably even expand it across the country, but we'll wait and see what happens tomorrow. But still have Chidi Okereke here with me, and I want to ask you, Chidi, now if you can hear me. A lot of people spend their evenings these days waiting for the NCDC to tweet out, the number of infections per day. And of course, there's been a noticeable spike in numbers in the last week or so because most people have said there's been an increased number of tests being conducted, which is, of course, welcome. But do you feel like the tests are enough? A lot of people still believe, compared to a lot of states or countries, at least in the region, we are still doing very poorly, which is why there's a fear of lifting the lockdown. Are we ready? Do you think there's enough tests have been conducted or are being conducted in Nigeria yet?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's shocking. It's surprising how little we're testing. Like, how is it that a country with a population of between 150 to 200 million, we've done just about 10,000 tests? That's if we've done up to 10,000 tests yet. I'm not even sure. Last I checked, the numbers were below 10,000. I mean, we've tested so little that it is, it's, when I think about it, when I ponder the fact that it is possible that we have way more people who are infected who've not just been tested. I mean, the thoughts are scary. The thoughts are very, very, very scary. We're not testing enough. We've not tested enough. I think the NCDC should widen the testing net, make it open to more people, make it accessible to more people. We have, again, last I checked, we had a capacity of 1,500 per day nationwide. So we should be testing at least 1,000 every day.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just find a way to make sure that we know the exact, or at least an almost accurate number of people who are infected by this virus, because the less you test, the less people know, the more people go about their business like it's nothing, and then the more people are infected and infecting other people. Well, I mean, we're sitting on a time bomb, and I just hope it doesn't explode. Again, I refer to Kano. While everything is rumors right now, and I'm surprised the deputy governor is not here like he was supposed to be. While we don't know what's actually happening there, it is possible that the numbers are spiking as a result of low testing, not finding out the people who should be tested and all that. So we should increase testing. The numbers will scare us. Every day the numbers increase. Yeah, we're scared, but then fear brings caution. So let us
Yes.
increase testing, please.
All right.
NCDC, please.
So many angles to talk about with regards to the coronavirus. I mean, so many people have so many, um, I don't know. Everybody has an opinion, and everybody believes is at least the one thing I think everybody agrees on is the fact that we need more testing. But I want to switch the conversation a little now, and talk about relationships. It's an interesting angle to the coronavirus pandemic, and we have a guest who's going to be helping us dissect this, who's a relationship expert, Jerome Onikpede. And we want to talk to Jerome. How are you doing? I want to talk to you about something that's been very critical, to this pandemic, and that people don't seem to be focusing a lot on. I remember I saw a statistic, I think it was from South Africa, in the first week or so of their own lockdown, they got over 80,000 calls to their police with regards to domestic violence from people who were locked down with their partners. Domestic violence, I think, in France went up by about 30% in the first 3 weeks of their own lockdown. We don't seem to have this kind of data here in Nigeria, so I don't know how far our own statistics might be with regards to that, because people are stuck together with people they might not necessarily want to be with. How are couples coping or supposed to cope in times like this?
Okay, when you, first of all, thank you very much for having me, Ibuka. It's a pleasure being here again with you. When you actually talk about domestic violence, and you're talking about domestic violence in marriage, so those places you have mentioned, South Africa and maybe France, but let's maybe more of South Africa. I'm not sure if we go by the statistics in South Africa, even if we don't have statistics in Nigeria, that kind of statistics in Nigeria. I'm not sure that it's that bad in Nigeria. That's the truth, because without mincing words, I think there has been a level of domestic violence in South Africa that really needs to be curbed. Really curbed. It's not. It's beginning to look like it's a lifestyle. But when it comes to Nigeria, look, listen. A lot of people might tell you that the statistics is the same, but it is not. It's not the same thing when it comes to Nigeria. And the reason is this: there's a lot of awareness that's been going on even before the pandemic. A lot of awareness has been going on concerning domestic violence. It's all over. Nigerians are not joking with it anymore. They are beginning to come all out to talk about it. They're putting it on the internet. You find social media, carrying anything they can find that relates to domestic violence about anybody at all, put it up there. And because of that, people are becoming more cautious about how they go about this. So when it comes to marriage or marriages and the aspect of domestic violence, now there are, but compared to the places you mentioned, I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's that bad. And I think I know what I'm saying, because these are people I work with consistently, most of the time. But I'm not ruling it out that there are no domestic violence in Nigeria. I'm not ruling that out. No. I'm just saying that the awareness in Nigeria,
it's quite much. But I just want to, I guess my question is, in a time like this, because we're in very unusual times, we're hearing stories about people who have other ailments, who are even finding it difficult to get, attention in hospitals. It's almost the same thing with people who might have other cases, because security operatives are sort of overwhelmed now dealing with what the entire world is dealing with. So domestic violence sometimes has gotten underplayed, by security operatives. Sometimes when you call, they say, oh, now husband and wife matter, make una go settle them, In a time like this, if you're stuck with someone who's sort of abusive, how do you handle it? Who do you run to? Is this a time where we still believe the police should be the one to call? Are neighbors even going to be able to help, since nobody is able to touch anyone else? How do couples cope in a time like this?
Look, I think part of what is going on right now is, you see, one of the major things that Nigerians want to see happen for them right now is that they get back to work. A lot of Nigerians actually think they're losing so much. So when it comes to the aspect of, couple fighting over this, fighting over that, what most couples are doing right now is they're giving space. Those who have such kind of issues are giving space to each other. They're giving space to each other. You find a couple living together, and there's this thing about realizing that, look, we are having issues. We can't even talk anymore. It seems a lot has changed between us, and we didn't even know it. We've come so far apart. What is going on? What is happening? This might surprise you, but maybe you want to check it out after the show. The problem we are facing is that you find a couple leaving home to go to stay in an hotel instead of fighting anybody. Just getting out of the house. If he cannot handle it anymore. And for the cases that I have heard of in Nigeria, where maybe there is a measure of, violence going on, neighbors are intervening. Neighbors are intervening. I want to show you about one thing you need to know about Nigerians. Even at a time like this, a lot of people have come to realize that it's unfortunate that sometimes the security agencies, where you expect so much from, may not be giving you as much as is required. So Nigerians are learning to look out for themselves now. Nigerians are actually learning to look out for themselves at this point in time that we're living in. So even from cases I've heard, there are cases whereby neighbors have had to intervene and try to make sure that, look, these things just don't happen. So for the case of Nigerians, from what I see and from what I know and from the experiences I've had so far, a lot of Nigerians are looking out for themselves at this point in time, because they know that things are very bad. They know that it's going to come to an end. And as they're looking forward to it, while there's pockets of frustration in certain quarters, there are some people who are still saying, look, we got to look out for ourselves at this point in time. And they're doing a lot of that. For example, you find out that some of these palliatives are being given here and there. Some of these gifts are being taken around here and there. There are more people that are doing so much but are not putting it on social media, helping this person or that person. I hear about cases of people who received gifts. From certain quarters they didn't even expect they will ever receive gifts from. This mobile food network that's going on are actually doing quite a number of things right now, because you find great people, kind people who are actually sending, telling the mobile food mat to go and deliver food to certain people, and by the time they find out it's the price, it's like now. I'm asking who sent this, and they say Buka, and I'm surprised, because the last person I expect to send somebody something to me is Ebuka. But that's what's going on. That's what's going on right now. But the point I'm trying to make is there's nothing happening in marriages in Nigeria right now that has not always been there. But one of the things Nigerians are learning to do is giving space, trying their best to give as much space as possible, because they do not think that this is something that is going to be everlasting. Nigerians have a way of looking forward to the end of things that should be, so that they can continue and do things that ought to be. And that is happening a lot, which is not being reported, funny enough, by quite a number of people.
I want to talk about the other side of this narrative now. There are couples who sort of got cut apart when the lockdown happened, either in different states or in different cities or even different countries. I know a couple who was supposed to be getting married yesterday. The wife is somewhere else in the world and the husband is here, and the marriage, of course, can't hold. But they haven't seen themselves now in about 7 weeks. There are people who believe that distance breeds distrust. How do couples who are apart in times like this keep things healthy and fresh and stay as connected as they should be?
Well, okay, it's a good thing you're asking me that, because just this morning I was chatting with a lady whose husband could not make it because of the closure of the airport. Now, he was actually working, hoping that there's no way he will not make it. He will probably still get to the airport on time. And at the end of the day, by the time he got around, this is a true story, not like he was trying to play around, no. He found out that he couldn't make it. And it's not far away. The wife is in Lagos. He is in Kaduna. He's not far away, amazingly. He's not far from the wife. Well, I mean, not too far, like I mean. But at the end of the day, they've been apart for about a month now or thereabouts. And what they have been trying to do is to stay in touch, talk. Funny enough, they were quarreling. They were not really talking on talking terms before this actually happened to them. But right now, they find themselves, they have to talk, talk because of the situation on ground. And so they're discussing a lot of things. They're beginning to reach out to themselves, to each other. Another case is a case of a lady who told me that she just found money. She just found money in our account. She just got an alert. And it was this time it was a boyfriend who actually could not reach out, could not actually see her like they used to see. And all he had to do was send that. What she now did was she had to send a mobile food mat to actually send some food to him. And while she was talking to him, she realized that this was that they were already by his door. But she didn't even behave like she knew what was going on. And before he knew what was happening, there was a knock on the door. And then she opened the door. He was telling her that, look, sorry, let me just answer this call. I don't know who's by the door. And they told her, this food is from your woman, And the truth is, a lot of that is also going on. Couples are relating. Couples are settling down. You are relating with me right now, and I mean Benin Republic. You are in Nigeria. And at the end of the day, what's going on is you find out that we can relate through Skype. People are beginning to, go all out for Zoom. The WhatsApp call is also doing a lot. So people are in touch. It might not be that easy, but you find out that a lot of couples who don't even talk that much, even before the pandemic, are doing that right now. They're forced to do that right now because the men especially are feeling very lonely. And they realize that they really need their spouse at this time. Yeah, they feel lonely, not because they feel vulnerable. Do you understand? Yes. It's not the vulnerability is not as a result of not being able to see a side chick. I'm not sure that is it. But at this point in time, when men have to sit down to reflect on their lives, a lot of men, and then Nigerian men are not lazy men. So a lot of men are finding out that, wow, I have done so much. How far do I want to go now? What else do I want to do after this is over? And so many things like that. So he feels very vulnerable. He's not even sure if so much is also appreciated of him. And so this is the time he wants to speak with his wife. He wants to talk to his wife. And some wives are enjoying it at this point in time
Before we
because
go
they
now,
find their husbands.
yeah, we need to
Yeah.
go. Sorry, just very quickly before we go in 1 minute.
Okay.
What is the one fundamental thing you want couples to come out of this lockdown with? The one fundamental lesson before we go very quickly.
Okay, the one fundamental lesson is this. Divorce is not one of the solutions to marital conflicts. Divorce is not one of the solutions to marital conflicts. So when the marital conflicts are there, you can actually sit together, you can talk. You can work on your differences. That you're different does not mean you are wrong. Your wife is different from you, your husband is different from you, but none of you is wrong. All you have to do is allow each other to open up to each other's world, and you'll find out that your own world gets even larger and you enjoy what you've got together. Relationships like at this point, there are a lot of people that are no longer loyal. We don't have too many loyal people anymore. But right now, with you and your spouse, you can create that high level of loyalty and bring this is a great time for you to do that. So that by the time this is over, you already have a fantastic foundation to build on. So I'm encouraging all the couples to make the best use of what they've got right now. Thank you.
Our parents to children.
Yeah, the children have always desired a time like this. They don't mind this kind of holiday because they want to spend more time with their with their parents. And parents, this is what I want to remind you of. What you're going to leave behind for your children at any point in time is not money or inheritance or any of those things, but the memories that both of you actually share together. What they will remember you for are the memories you shared together, the things you did together, the way you played together, the way you were able to speak and talk together, when you sat down and you were able to speak to your children, speak with your children. These are the things they're going to remember you for. So make the best use of this time to make it so memorable when it's over. And also a great foundation to the greater days that are coming ahead of us in Nigeria and all over the world.
I like the fact that you talked about money not being that important, but for a lot of people, money is always a huge part of the conversation, and no money is being made right now. So I don't know how that conversation between couples is going to happen money-wise.
I would tell you this. I would tell you this. The truth is this. A lot of, I don't know how people are not being truthful about this. A lot of Nigerians have spare money right now. I mean, I'm not talking about everybody. Most Nigerians that used to spend and spend and spend and spend are realizing that they don't go and spend on weekends at movie house anymore. They're not going for shows anymore. They're not going for a lot of things. And this money they used to spend and think that without spending money for these things, they will never stay alive. But look at them today. They're not spending any of this money for any of these things. So what the best they can do right now is maybe share, be kind. Share with people who they know do not have. You see, the thing is, we don't have to wait for somebody that we already know does not have to come to us before we share. If Ebuka already knows me, knows Jerome, and realizes that, this may be a hard time for Jerome, Ebuka should not wait for Jerome to come and ask him before he chooses to do something for me. You should probably say, hi, Jerome, how are you? Just be kind. Just be kind. And I'm telling you, as it goes round, we're all going to be blessed for it. Thank you very much, too.
Thank you very much, Jerome, for joining us today. Always a pleasure talking to you. And please stay safe. We'll take another break now. I'll be right back. Please don't go away.